Our classic matches begin with a magnificent performance at Anfield in December 1969. The United team featured many of the stars who'd won the European Cup 2 seasons earlier. This away victory against their arch rivals remains unsurpassed to this day.
David Sadler's moved up, number 6 there, just in the 6-yard box from Lawrence's view. You can see that he might possibly obstruct it. And he has indeed. Whether he got a touch or not, we're not sure, but it was curled in. The ball curled in by Bobby Charlton, just in fact as he did in the match against Portugal. Gerrand, lucky to get the second bite. Charlton, Aston on the touchline. Lawler blocking that route. Oh, well seen by Hughes. He's moved for the return too, but Brennan going with him. Now Callaghan. Hit it well. Oh, Stepney. Hughes. The equaliser from Emlyn Hughes, the mistake by the goalkeeper, and so we're back at square one each, and both goals defensive errors. Ian Ewer's gone right up on the line. No one can get to it now, Aston. And Ewer getting the touch. Well, Ewer, having gone up, came away and was in a position to push it back. Tommy Lawrence with a lot of players around him, seeing the ball go across his face both ways. Gerrand, Best, Aston wide, Burns just to his right, Charlton moving forward and Best, a good tackle by Lawler. And Aston seems to have hurt his shin. Dunn. Charlton picking that off ball. Morgan. And number 3. Willie Morgan makes it 3-1 after 19 minutes of the second half, and he was the man that scored the only goal at Old Trafford, which gave Manchester United victory over Liverpool earlier in the season, and now the double looks very much on for them. Best. Best playing the pass as he was moving. Charlton going for a 1-2 and getting it! Oh, what a goal! A magnificent goal by Bobby Charlton. Hit as true as an arrow. Well, really, he typifies his team, because Bobby Charlton so often has been written off, and so have Manchester United, and it never pays to write off either.
Game 2 is a passionate derby at Old Trafford during the victorious cup run of 1996.
It's the 5th meeting of these two teams in the FA Cup. 2 each is the record. Manchester City won the first 2, United the most recent 2. And Dennis Irwin, United's top scorer in the FA Cup last season. gets that throw in back. Initially from Keane, now from Cantona. And in an ear-splitting, deafening atmosphere, it's going to be competitive and tough. But what can the silky skills of Ryan Giggs bring to this encounter? He's won a throw-in. Here's Summerby. Kinkladze tripped by Roy Keane. And Keane is going to be booked after just 3 minutes of the match. Cantona appeals on behalf of the Irishman. But for a player who has had more than his share of disciplinary problems, to get a yellow card so early in the game really puts him under pressure. Mikey Immel experiencing a Manchester derby for the second time, on the wrong end of a 1-0 scoreline when the sides met here in the league earlier in the season. Paul Scholes, the scorer for United that day, is having to wait on the bench for his opportunity. Clearance by Brown. Neville with the throw. And across by Keane, away from Cole, and Frontsek didn't really deal with that. The merest of touches to it, and it's given United this throw-in. Owen the taker. Gets it back from Butt. Nicky Butt away from Brown. But then crashing into Kinkladze. Well, Butt has only just come back after suspension, and Roy Keane, who, remember, has already got a yellow card to his name, has unnecessarily got involved, and Niall Quinn came in to sort out as well, and now Alan Wilkie is having to pull players apart from each other in just the sort of scenario that everyone would have wanted to avoid in this match. The angle of tough competitiveness had been played down in the lead-up to the game, and Roy Keane, who wasn't initially involved but made it his own say-so to be involved, is in real trouble here. Michael Brown, who was involved in the initial scuffle with Nicky Butt, is having his name taken. And Cole, who piled in as well. But Keane there, I think, can consider himself very fortunate indeed. And Keith Curle has also been booked. Kinkladze gets it through, and a chance on here for Uwe Rosler, and City have taken the lead. Uwe Rosler goes to take the acknowledgement of the delighted hordes of City supporters. The underdogs make the breakthrough. A beautifully cool finish from the German, just clipped it over the top of Finnish Michael's head. And while Manchester United were still looking for the offside, Rosler found the gap and applied the perfect finish. Is there to be a shock on the cards? Uwe Rosler, who's had difficulty matching his goal-scoring tally from last season, gets a vital one here at Old Trafford. Bruce. Cantona. Bruce praying it through to Cole, flicked down to Nicky Butt. Can Butt find the gap? It's turned away by Somerby. But in fact got the last touch, but two players converged on him then as he made the breakthrough. But sticking out a hopeful boot, but well wide from him. It's a Manchester United throw-in. City in the opening 35 minutes have hardly looked like a team shaping up for a relegation battle. They've been very sharp. Now they're under pressure though. It's Phil Neville. Steve Lomas giving him no room whatsoever for the cross. Giggs with the corner. Sharp and Cole are waiting inside the 6-yard box as Pallister inevitably lumbers forward. Keane. Oh, and it's turned away by Immel. Good goalkeeping. Keane has got a fair old spring in his step. I'm not sure he didn't take a deflection on the way. Cantona seemed to let it run, and the goalkeeper pushed it behind for another corner. Giggs with a kick. And there was some pushing that time, I think by Cantona. Or was it the other way? Has he given a penalty here? City are furiously protesting to the referee, but he saw something when Giggs' corner was swung in. Somebody being held, may have been Cantona, and he's awarded Manchester United a grand opportunity to get themselves back into this match. And Eric Cantona, who's normally the epitome of ice coolness in this situation, takes the penalty and scores. And Manchester United are back in the match. Cantona so deliberate with his kick to draw United level, but what about the penalty? Frontsek seems to be the man protesting, and he was the man there involved with Cantona who seemed to give him the shove. The referee indicated that Frontsek had held Cantona down, and despite the Germans' protests, the spot kick was awarded and delivered with his usual cool fashion. Cantona, who scored 2 penalties in the victory over Chelsea in 1994, has possibly eradicated all of Manchester City's good work in the previous 38 minutes. He's cancelled out Uwe Rosler's opening goal, and this derby match takes another controversial twist. Sharp. Nicky Butt. And still Nicky Butt. It's a good surge this. And Curl cuts it off. Well, there'll be a few eagle eyes trained on 1 or 2 defenders from this corner after the last incident, which led to United's equaliser. It's Sharp with this corner. Cantona trying to get there, but this time Frontsek gets in front of him. It's from this side that the corner that led to the penalty award was taken by Ryan Giggs. Headed away as far as Cantona. This is Keane, right through and across the face. That was hit with some venom, and it's the last action of a controversial first half. Keane himself involved in the early flashpoint when, having been booked, he then found himself involved in a skirmish, and the rain now has only eased off slightly. serve to dampen down one or two tempers as Neville gets forward and tests the City defence early on. Sharp came in and it had to be hacked away by Keith Curle, but Sharp took a knock. First 30 seconds of the second half and Phil Neville caused some real alarm here. Cantona. Here's Giggs. Nice touch. Clearance by Simons. Pallister. City pinned back inside their own half. Giggs couldn't find the touch to set Phil Neville away. As the conditions worsen, Somerville tears forward here for Manchester City. Rosner's waiting. It's Clough who wants it. Now Quinn has moved into the box. And the header back will be cleared by Steve Bruce. Cole. He to feed it through to Butt. And curls across, but Butt not there. Lee Sharp! Into the side netting. But it took a touch on the way. And Manchester United have got a corner because Ike Immel turned it round. Giggs with the corner. The header away by Simons to Dennis Irwin. Charged down by Clough. Here's Cantona. Ian Frontsek, the two players involved in the penalty. Involved again there, but this is King Clancy. Sharp. Aiming it in towards Andy Cole. And Keane is aiming to get there. Cantona. Clearance by Curle to Sharp. Sharp nicely fed by Dennis Irwin. And the clearance by Curle for the corner. Taxing times these for the Manchester City defence. They've had a lot of pressure at the start of the second half, Manchester United. Sharp with the corner. Keane coming in. And Curle has been rock solid. Between Nigel Clough and Nicky Butt. Cantona. Neatly placed through. Cole's touch to Sharp! And the goalkeeper had it, lost it. Cole and Keane converged. And Immel was unhappy about the way that Keane went in on him. There's more squaring up. Keane, to be fair, backed off there and didn't look for instant reprisals, even though Immel was looking at him square in the face. And Alan Wilkie rapidly comes in and calms things down. It was a shot that spilled out of the goalkeeper's hands, and two players, Keane and Cole, felt they had a right to go for the ball, but Immel certainly felt that Keane had made too strong an attempt to get to the ball. Irwin. Might be long for Cole, but Cantona's there at the far side. Back in towards Nicky Butts. Over the top of his head and Fronsek's the covering defender, but he's conceded the corner. Alan Ball watching on as his team have to defend right in front of their own supporters, and Manchester United are asking some serious questions now of this City defence. Sharp with a kick. Pallister goes in, Giggs is at the back post, and it goes on top of the net. Pallister so useful in opposing penalty areas, got his head to the ball. Giggs was the man at the back post and just couldn't direct it in. The angle was so tight. Sharp swung it in, and Pallister normally from this situation would be going for goal. Took a deflection off the top of his head, and Giggs really wasn't too far over. Will and Bruce, the latest pair involved in a scuffle. Really hasn't been the easiest of contests for Alan Wilkie to referee. He's had to be particularly beady-eyed. Neville. Keane. It's a good break this from Roy Keane. Firmly struck, and it was well held too by the goalkeeper. Sort of instance from which a closing striker like Andy Cole might have expected a rebound as it skidded along the sticky surface. Keane. Giggs. Neville continuing the run. It's a good break this from United. Sharp! 2-1 to Manchester United. Lee Sharp is the scorer. United finally found their cutting edge. It was Phil Neville who turned up in an advanced position to deliver just the sort of cross that Lee Sharp wanted. Nicely weighted ball through to Neville, delicately pulled back by him for Sharp, and the ball driven through Immel in the Manchester City goal. Beautifully weighted ball from Giggs to the fullback, and Neville showing great awareness there to pick out Lee Sharp. And Sharp, who scored in the last match here against Blackburn Rovers, has done it again with a little help from Phil Neville. And Manchester United, for the first time in this match, take the lead. Manchester City can't afford really to be creative. They've got to be direct. And although Clough was direct, no one was in that position to take advantage. And it was a gift for Schmeichel. We'll now just let the clock tick away. Craney intent on preventing him from allowing to do that. And the final whistle goes, and Manchester United are through to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup after a vigorously fought local derby. Manchester United 2, Manchester City 1.
We asked an old hero of the Stretford end to choose a game that stands out in his memory, and he picked the Cup final of 1994.
I think they played very well the first half. They had a good chance. If that had gotten in, it would have been a different game altogether, because they would have had something to fight and hold on to. But once we scored first, I think we all felt that the game was over. And within the space of 10-15 minutes or so, we were 2-3-0 up, and that was it. The game was over. So it was a stroll in the rain.
Now, can Mark Hughes continue his amazing Wembley record this season? Scored here in the Charity Shield, scored in the Coca-Cola final, scored here in the FA Cup semi-final. Can he make it 4 today? With the assistance of Eric Cantona, it's about to get underway with the rain still drifting down slowly at Wembley. Weather's really changed since this morning. The pitch could be a bit slippy on top, and it's Chelsea in blue, Manchester United in red, Steve Clarke on the ball. Steen, Irwin for Manchester United. Any quick early thoughts, Trevor?
Well, it was going to be interesting to see how Manchester United solved the problem of Peacock. I wonder whether Paul Ince might do a job, but they're leaving Keane and Ince there playing as two central midfielders, and I think Pallister and Bruce are going to just have to sort out Peacock as he makes those late runs.
We'll keep an eye on it. Along with 80,000 in the stadium and millions watching here and worldwide. This is Ince. Just stretching a bit there, Cantona. Now Sinclair for Chelsea, testing Parker. Thoughtful player-manager. Peter Shreeves to the right of the picture there, the Chelsea coach. Been to Wembley 11 times and lost only once. Clarke. This is Sinclair. Getting forward early on, the left back. It's a good run too. And he had Peacock outside him. And Sinclair's still there. Oh, and they dived in front of him to block it. Ince for one was back there. This is Giggs for Manchester United. Just look at the pace. Oh, Erland Johnson was the player in the way, and David Ellery's gone straight to his pocket. This is going to be a booking for Erland Johnson on Ryan Giggs. Sinclair. In the way was Keane. Oh, Parker lost out there. Sinclair again. Little touch to him by Peacock. Sinclair's cross. Oh, and Steen came in, and I think Bruce left that for Schmeichel, and there was a misunderstanding.
Sinclair again, isn't it? I mean, that was one source of danger that I hadn't anticipated. I must say, he's very quick, but not so often in those attacking positions. There was a little bit of a misunderstanding. Steen was beyond the near post, couldn't flick it with the outside or try his left and then just run it out of play.
Just came off Pallister's head. Spencer's in there. Ince, Cantona and Eddie Newton, who's sticking very close to Cantona in that area of the field, and he outwits him and robs him of the ball. And he's found Spencer, and look where Schmeichel is, and they'll need help. Pallister it was who got it away. Misjudgment by Schmeichel, surely. Back in by Burley. Well, it's still on for Steen. And Irwin gets pulled down. That's a free kick the other way, but Cantona lost the ball to Eddie Newton, and when John Spencer got in, I wasn't sure that Schmeichel was best advised to be there.
Well, once he started to come, he had to commit himself. It was a bit fortunate for United. They've got three covering defenders there. It could have dropped for Steen, but in the end, Schmeichel got the vital touch, so his decision was the right one. If he hadn't, of course, it was on Spencer's weaker side. He favours the right more than the left, but again it was good movement, and Eddie Newton, who I thought was man of the match against Luton in the semi-final, has had a terrific opening period.
It's Hughes. Yes, it wasn't quite the rush of blood for which Schmeichel finished getting sent off for in the earlier round, was it, when he was he missed the well, didn't miss the ball, but he handled it against Charlton and was suspended. But he was, as you say, goalkeepers make up their minds, and if they get a touch, they're proved right. If it had gone the other way, he might have been looking back at the first goal. Burley. Peacock. Peacock! Oh, he's hit the bar! So near to 3 out of 3. Gavin Peacock.
Flicks it onto his left foot. He's a two-footed player. Loops it over. Schmeichel had no chance. Another yard further out, it would have dipped in under the crossbar. Wonderful bit of skill, and I mean, that would have been amazing if he'd have got another goal against him. And I think for a 5 or 6 minute spell, Chelsea now will feel a bit unlucky that they haven't gone ahead.
Support arriving from Peacock. Oh, and the little back flick by Spencer only went to Keane. And now Giggs has made a run, left to right again, wants it played now by Kanchelskis, who then moves inside to join Cantona and Hughes in the penalty area. That's Cantona! Brilliantly taken by Dimitri Karin as Hughes threw himself forward.
Well, a lovely flowing move from Manchester United, their best to date, involving both flank players. A good deep cross. Cantona unselfishly trying to knock it back across, but Karin, very agile, laid up ground and held on to it very well.
Now Hughes took it away from Jonsson nicely. Kanchelskis. Keane. Kanchelskis, if he can reach it. He did, and it had to be turned away by Wise. So now the emphasis switches, and it's Manchester United who have a corner which Ryan Giggs will take, and it gives Pallister the chance to come forward, and Bruce. Oh, Karin there stretching, and Steve Bruce tried to retrieve it on the other side and got another corner out of it.
Karin did quite well in the end because he got a bit underneath it, was never going to be able to catch it then, and so just got the hand to it, which took it out of the danger area.
Oh, and Bruce is up there again. Oh, Kjellberg only to Cantona. Hughes, Giggs. What a shot. And Glenn Hoddle's team would still appear to have the edge, but in a cup final, you've got to score to prove it. Kanchelskis. Cantona, Keane. Irwin. Ince. Chelsea get their tackles in coming from behind. That's a foul. Peacock and Spencer stretched at Ince there.
I think Ince has been one of the few United players who has lived up to his reputation. I think he's been as involved as anyone in trying to get them going again.
Is this too far for Irwin?
Not the way he's shaping up to it, no. Although I think it's going to be a fantastic shot if he can beat somebody of the quality of Karin.
Karin's never been beaten by a shot from outside the area. Not since he joined Chelsea, only one that was deflected. And he keeps that record going from the Irishman. This is Ince, and this is Giggs. Irwin. They try it the other way with Parker. It was Sinclair who came to meet him. Kanchelskis. Chelsea's line holding firm, but it's going to come back to Irwin. Keane. Parker. Cantona coming short. Jonsson comes with him, he finds Ince. Away by Sinclair. Now then, can Manchester United maintain the momentum? It's Parker sliding it through to Cantona. Here comes Hughes, he slipped at the crucial moment. But here's Irwin. Keane. Giggs. They're just starting to build something here, United, it would seem. Irwin. Oh! Oh! Eddie Newton on Dennis Irwin. A penalty in the cup final. Dennis Irwin brought down by Eddie Newton on the hour, and Manchester United have a penalty.
Well, all the Chelsea players all put their hands on the head when the tackle went in. Look at that. I mean, he's had such a good game, Eddie Newton, right in front of David Ellery. No alternative but to point to the spot. What a vital moment.
Well, the United players are looking at their injured colleague, but it's Cantona, I think, who'll take it. He's put the ball on the spot, And this will be interesting, won't it? The first Frenchman in a cup final against the first Russian goalkeeper in a cup final. And the last two penalties at Wembley in FA Cup finals have been saved. Dave Besant and Mark Crossley. But can Eric Cantona make his mark on the biggest occasion in the English game? Or can Karine? Cantona made it look like a practice ground penalty. He just stroked it in the corner and sent Karine the wrong way. And with this goal, the Premiership champions take the lead in the FA Cup final. Poor Eddie Newton. Well, I've got two observations to make about the penalty in a moment, but the game is moving so fast there's no time. It's Steen. He's gone past Bruce. Burley coming in far side. Oh, it was too long, the cross. I just wanted to make a point about David Ellery's positioning on that penalty, Trevor. He was virtually standing within a yard of the incident. I know it was an obvious penalty, but it was an excellent piece of an example to all referees as to where they should be when the play's in that area of the pitch.
But it just only highlights at the moment what an outstanding match he's had. He's kept control superbly and let the game flow when it's needed it.
Oh, they're struggling here. It's Kanchelskis in. Oh, he's given another one. Sinclair on Kanchelskis, a second penalty to Manchester United. Well, I can't recall this happening in a cup final before. Sinclair charges Kanchelskis down, and within a matter of minutes, two penalty kicks to the same side. David Ellery wasn't as close this time, but he had no doubts. Chelsea are protesting.
Well, I shouldn't have said anything, should I? Because I can't agree with that decision. The linesman, who was in a much better position, did not signal the penalty. David Ellery, who was 30 yards behind him and couldn't have seen the incident as clearly as the linesman, gave the penalty himself. And I must say, I thought it was a wrong decision. If anything, it was actually obstruction outside the area initially when they made contact.
Well, we'll try. Well, obviously we will see it again when the penalty's been taken, Trevor. Not for a moment, of course. Chelsea have made their protest long and loud. They agree with Trevor Brooking. He agrees with them. We'll see, but it's Cantona in another battle of wits against Dimitri Karine. And again, it's 2-0. And Eric Cantona. And look at Glenn Hoddle, he's got the tracksuit off now. Eric Cantona creates some sort of cup final record, stroking in two penalties. This time, the alleged offender is Sinclair, but all sorts of things are happening now. This is how he took the second one, and really it was just like the first one. He tucked it away in that corner, and Karine, who must have thought, well, he's going to change his mind this time, and he didn't. Mills! Yes! Mark Hughes again! The Wembley Warrior makes it 3-0, and surely now the double is secure. And this time, oh dear me, you've got to feel sorry there for Sinclair. But Hughes now, what a record he's created. 4 big Wembley occasions in one season. He's scored in all of them. Surely he's come. Oh, look at this now. He's onside, Cantona. He was in his own half. And can he complete the hat-trick here against Karine? And he rolls it the wrong side of the post. And you start to wonder how many Manchester United might score.
It's that linesman this side who was so near to that second penalty decision. He didn't put his flag up. It was David Ellery that made the choice.
Great ball by Hoddle to Steen there, though. This is Wise. Hoddle is coming in from the far side himself. And there's the early header by Peacock. And Peter Schmeichel makes from Peacock perhaps his best save of the afternoon. He had to. Here's Spencer. Cascarino. Oh, little ball in. Dennis Wise. Oh. Well, he might well have pulled one back there, the Chelsea captain.
That's a great move. Built right, And down in front of us here, a flowing move down the left-hand side. Cascarino, good first touch into Dennis Wise and had goal written all over it, but perhaps that just sums up the afternoon for poor Chelsea. They couldn't put the ball in the net despite their good approach play.
Chelsea still at it. That's Newton floating it for Cascarino. Two unmarked in the middle, surely now. There's the shot on the turn by Spencer, and Schmeichel has reserved his best work, or it's been reserved for him until the last few minutes. Corner again. Played short. Hoddle. Now Cantona. Now he's got players joining him. One of them is Mark Hughes. Now two to the left. Oh, and onside. Paul Ince for Manchester United. Can he finish it here? Ince. Oh, and selfish. Brian Leclerc. What a wonderfully unselfish piece of play by Paul Ince of Manchester United in England, to put this smile on the face of the manager, to give McClair the chance to score, and to confirm that Manchester United have won the double. Out came Karine, round him went Ince. He saw Clark was there, so he just rolled it back, and McClair accepts the greatest gift of all, an open goal in a cup final. It's 4-0, Trevor.
Well, rubbing salt in the wound there, Manchester United, because Chelsea so close a couple of times at the other end, although they probably feel now that they could be playing until Sunday morning, still not be able to get the ball in the net. Goes up the other end, Eddie Newton tries to play the offside. The linesman said when the ball was played it wasn't, and Paul Ince sets up Brian McClair for his goal.
Here they go again, it's Hughes. We're well into stoppage time, as you can see, 4th minute in fact. And Hughes has gone down injured. And there it is. The achievement is nearly unique. The praise is nearly unanimous. The double is definitely Manchester United's. The 6th club to achieve this remarkable feat.
United have sustained a very good record at Anfield over the years, and in this high-scoring encounter, Alex Ferguson's side matched Liverpool stride for stride. Despite being reduced to 10 men with the dismissal of Colin Gibson, United fought their way back into the game.
Aldridge up, away by McGrath to Strachan. Number 6 is Duxbury. Strachan again. Could be 1 or 2 tasty tackles going in this afternoon. There's so much history between these famous teams. Here's Nigel Spackman, and here's Beardsley in space. This is Barnes. Crowded out. They've shared many great battles over the last few seasons. That was Brian McClair, and here's Peter Davenport against Alan Hansen, and Davenport's beaten him, and Brian Robson's in the middle, and Manchester United take the lead on a ground where they tend to do so well. And the England captain timed his run and arrived there virtually on his own. But the man who takes credit early in the move is McClair, because he got the ball moving for United and put Davenport away. Davenport beat Hansen, there was no question about that, and when he crossed, Brian Robson had an easy chance by his standards. Davenport got his foot in where no one else did. Here's Strachan. Duxbury, he's looking to his right to see where Anderson was. Hadn't made the run this time. Strachan. Gibson, Strachan. And Gillespie. Only to Bruce. Duxbury. Nicol. There's enough variety in this match to keep you absorbed in what's going on. Now Aldridge to Houghton. Oh, he's got away from Brian Robson. He needs support in the middle. Beardsley's arriving now. Beardsley! 1-1, and Liverpool strike. 8 minutes before half-time. Nicol. Oh, Beardsley away from Robson. Barnes. Gillespie! This is vintage stuff now from Liverpool. And there are 3 waiting in the middle for a cross, 4 now counting Nicol. Got a foot in again. McMahon. McMahon! Oh, I say, that's got to be one of the best goals of the season, even by Liverpool standards. What a belter. In by Ablett. McGrath up with Aldridge. Spatman. Right side off, another clattering challenge. Right side this time furious. He thinks Spatman trying to take him out. Jesper Olsen's taking them on. McClare's in the middle. Strachan's joining him. Olsen chips and hits the bar. Oh, here's McClare. Challenge. Oh, right side is throwing himself around and he's courting trouble, I would say. This is Strachan. Well played. Driven in and headed away by Hansen for the corner. Strachan to take it. Bruce is asking for a deep one here. And here he comes, but Spatman got there in front of him. Olsen. Plenty of them in there. Right side again, touching a bit of shirt pulling by Spatman maybe. This is Robson. And it's deflected. Oh, did that catch a Liverpool player? May have been Gillespie. It certainly took a deflection. Brian Robson's shot brings it back to 3-2. That was Spatman to Beardsley. Now McGrath. Right side. And it was driven by Bruce straight to Houghton. And now Steve Nicol is up on the right wing, as he has been so often. 3 waiting in the middle for a cross. Lofted towards Aldridge here. Turner just got to it. Just stretched down by the post. Good effort by Aldridge. Olsen. Davenport. Strachan making a lovely run through the middle. He's onside. Gordon Strachan with a chance to equalise, and does. What a Turner. The 10 men have come back from 3-1 down to 3-3. Davenport put him through. The Liverpool defence was square. They queried the linesman who kept his flag down, and Strachan kept his cool. A nice tidy finish on 78 minutes.
Our final game features Tommy Docherty's young side against a powerful Derby County. United had only been promoted the previous season and were looking to reach their first FA Cup final for 13 years.
4 now in midfield. And number 4 is Jerry Daly. Good confident start by Manchester United. No signs of nerves from the youngsters. It's nicely through to Houston. And Thomas to concede the first corner of the FA Cup semi-final between the 2 giants of the First Division. 63 goals Derby have scored in the league, 62 Manchester United. Got a back flick, and over the top from Koppel. Had to stab at it as it came to him. Powell, Todd well forward. Davis, not a good return ball. Hill, nicely played to Daly. The query is up. Hill, trying to count it and does! Gordon Hill! And really the trap was sprung from the moment at the other end of the field that the return to Todd wasn't a good one. Good break by Manchester United. And that confident, cocky youngster from London's Millwall has put Manchester United in front. Curling shot that got over the keeper. 12 minutes gone, first blood to the Reds. Davis. McIlroy beaten by Davis. And on again for Davis, chance here without any question. And Stepney doing well. Roger Davis struggling to get round his man. Stepney coming to meet the two and parrying it for the corner. The Manchester United end is still going absolutely mad over the goal. Good play by Pearson. Daly. 5 players up. Thomas turning it away. Pearson. It was deflected for the corner. Went through 2 players. Promising for United. Haven't quite got the width they might like on this attack. Now Pearson giving it to them. In goes Hill. Flag was up anyway. Good catch by Mosley. Face of anxiety belongs to Dave Mackay. A terrible moment for a manager. You know your team isn't playing as they can, and what can you do about it? From a seat in the trainer's bench. Davis in the middle, so is James. Here's Davis! Straight in the arms of Stepney. Got across well, did Stepney. Turned himself from Rioch's cross. Nice nod down by Lee. Here's Rioch. James is up ahead, wasn't seen. Gemmell blocked by Greenough. Look at the charge forward. 6, 7, 8 and offside. Well, Nish a bit unlucky because I thought he came from the back. The linesman's flag was up, George Holt, but Nish I think came from the back and ran through the crowd. When the pass was played, I have a strong suspicion that David Nish was onside. But there were a lot of other players offside, and the referee, of course, entitled to say that they were interfering with play. Offside, that was against McCreary. Nish's free kick straight to Koppel, who has Pearson to his left, now going outside him. Tackle by Powell is a foul, says the referee. A contrast between the two ends of the ground. Total noise from behind Graham Mosley's goal. And Hill, it was deflected! And that surely ties it up. Gordon Hill's second goal. And all around the ground now, all you can see is red and white of Manchester United. And there's the happiest Londoner that ever went to Manchester. Gordon Hill, 2 goals. And United, 2-0. And now within touching distance of Wembley. From the free kick. And it was deflected. 6 minutes left. Derby in need of a miracle. Here's Koppel. Pearson. And Hill wants it over this side for his hat-trick, for history to be repeated. Last time these two sides played, a player got a hat-trick, and that was Stan Pearson. Stuart Pearson hasn't got on the score sheet this afternoon, but has played so well. Tommy Docherty, he's led a team out at Wembley, but he's never won there. And just look at that massive flags and scarves. Brian Greenough. And Greenough moving for the return. Look at this for energy. He's only got Thomas now and McCreery, the youngster, inside. Oh, and a whisker past the post. What a run by Brian Greenough. What energy at the end of a semi-final with such a strength right from the word go. McElroy. And a foul by Rioch. Oh, what a sad end. McElroy reacting. The tension's then boiling over. Rioch not liking the fact that United were playing with just keeping possession and a spectator on. It's a sad finish, but a finish it is. And a mass of spectators on the field, and the kids are at Wembley.